Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bring the Heat podcast. Of course, this is episode number 8, and we're live on the Fury Twitch channel. Who would have thought we'd do a live episode? Of course, but we've got a lot to discuss. Of course, a quick disclaimer before we get into it. All evidence, of course, that has been brought forward is presented by the public and the players, some who wish to remain anonymous, and as well, keep your chat clean while we discuss some things. Guys, of course, we're joined by Bumper. We might be joined by Northex later on. We don't know where he is. I believe he will be coming in later, though, to discuss some things. But yeah, let's kick it off. Bumper, who are you, first of all? And brief little introduction.
Alright, so I'm Bumper. I'm a content creator. Normally streaming a variety of FPS games. Was a streamer for Frag Empire for about 2 months before everything went down. And yeah.
Cool. That's nice. We know you've been around the scene for a little while as well, between a couple of orgs, which is lovely to have you here as well. I know we've been talking a little bit here and there about everything, but again, as per normal, thank you to our viewers again, YouTube, Spotify, Google, podcasts, everyone. It's been good seeing the support, and again, the live stream today as well. We do really appreciate today as well for you guys tagging along and just viewing this. But we are here to discuss a couple of things today. Obviously, there has been a few things going around recently, and we thought we'd do a whole episode dedicated to, I guess, what has actually happened, what has become of this absolute clusterfuck, as we like to call it. But yeah, I guess really to start things off, Bumper, since you are, I guess, like one of the individuals who was affected by this specifically, I guess what was your original thoughts when you were joining this brand? Were you suspicious to begin with? Did it seem a little bit too good to be true?
I mean, yeah, I was a bit shocked when I found out, the payment side of it. Kind of blown away. But like, I didn't really seem too suspicious about it. I always heard a lot of good things about Teddy, and a lot of positives. So I didn't really go into it being suspicious.
Okay, cool. Because I guess if we want to start things off regarding, I guess, like the agreements that were put in place originally, now we have obviously done some digging, and shit has been looking sus because they were automatically generated contracts from an online website, as we figured out between, I think it's Joby, I think his name is, myself, and Sam's as we were looking into it. Not really ideal, especially considering there was watermarks down in the bottom left corner of most of the pages as well. So it didn't really look like the most professional thing, if I'm going to be honest. But I guess with you as one of the people who did actually, I guess, like sign this off as well, did that look like a legitimate contract? Did you, I guess, like read through it thoroughly enough?
I mean, yeah, I read through it thoroughly enough, but I've never really dealt with contracts to that extent before, so I didn't really know what to expect in the contract. I didn't have it looked over professionally, because I was 16 at the time when I signed. I'd had my parents look over it, and that was it. Just signed it off.
Okay. I think for the most part, I guess for a lot of the players, like obviously, approach people who know, I guess, a little bit more about this type of stuff, get it read over a little bit more. I guess, obviously, Tom, Tony, you guys have had your fair share of agreements. Did you guys actually get a look at, I guess, what I sent through previously regarding what it actually looked like at all?
No, I actually haven't. But
Okay.
contracts,
Tom,
yeah, always, if they're online generated, it's always gonna be fucking something sketchy going on, I feel.
I mean, for the most part, I've just sent the PDF in our little chat. So feel free to have like the smallest little view of that. The person who sent me this is going to stay disclosed, so I appreciate them sending this through as well.
This is already poorly formatted. Sorry.
Yeah.
I literally took one look.
The biggest issue with this is when you're just looking at stuff like this, you really read through it, and you look. Most of it was basically the spelling errors. There's no trace of any ABN or anything like that. There's no trace of any realistic agreements. It's like a McDonald's employment agreement. As we like to put it. So it's more like you've signed off to, I guess, work at Macca's for the first time. And, when you're looking at it, it's really not the most professional thing I've seen. And I've seen a lot of contracts before in my time, so it's like it's one of the worst I think I've seen, and Sam's directed that as well. Like it's horrible. Just like I'd love to leak it, obviously, to everybody. I think someone actually did on Twitter as well. But yeah, just looking through this type of stuff, like the stuff about work incentive if you want to go on holiday and shit like that as well. So I
Oh,
don't
you're
really
getting
know what
paid
to think,
annual leave?
honestly.
God
Wait, really?
damn.
Yeah, Bumpy, you're entitled to annual leave.
And sick leave. Hey,
Fucking
yo.
sick leave, hold up.
Yo. Hey, yo, Frag, if you need a content creator, pick me up. That's all I'm here. No. This is
thing
this
is-
just looks cursed.
This thing is cursed as hell. Like, oh my god.
It's one
Employee
it's one of the
benefits.
roughest things, honestly. But I guess really, again, I know the camera quality is garbage on my end. If anyone doesn't know, I live in the fucking sticks, so it's like my net is garbage, guys, and I can see that on the screen as well.
Any Joe robots in chat, boys?
Any
He's
Robo
MIA at
Joes
the
in
moment.
chat?
He's putting on the
I'm
camouflage
not in.
jacket.
Hold up,
Fuck.
Tom. I reckon what we'll do, I'll send you a photo that you can put up. All right.
Is it you with a
God,
cowboy
yeah.
hat on?
Wait, no,
No.
it's him chimping out in his bed. He's posted up with his monkey hat, chilling,
Just chuck that one up, Tom. Chuck that
slab
one up.
squatting on his
Right.
bed.
Waiting for. Oh,
There you go, sir. Just put that up. That's the
Jesus.
first one I can find. Yeah, I guess Tony, would you find something like this? I guess would you cross check it with somebody? Are you smart enough?
Yeah.
To...
Well, as
to get
Bumper
this out?
said, I'd probably get like I don't have too much experience with contracts either. Like I'm pretty young. I've only signed a few in my time, but yeah, obviously, probably get my parents to look over it first of all, and then I'd probably look over it a little bit more like in depth myself. I'd reach out. There's I'm pretty sure like Huzzy obviously, they used to do a whole bunch of like contractual stuff for esports
Okay.
and that I've just saw the photo, Joe, that you put in. Yeah, just size it down real quick. But yeah, I definitely like get it either like triple checked, like just reach out to anybody that can has an idea somewhat of contracts, like adult wise, that's dealt with a few in their time, kind of thing.
Really love seeing my face all over the screen, Tom. Quality effort.
I was gonna say you still look good.
It's perfect. What do you? I'm having funny. I'm
Yes.
having so much fun.
This man doesn't understand how overlays work. I don't think.
No, I do. I'm just having so much fun with the face. He's giving
Wait,
me a
but
You're an
fuckboy
idiot.
photo.
I was gonna say I think he's fine at the moment though. I don't think we need
That's
the photo.
actually- That was like
I'll get the
that was like
photos
an
up.
IEM. That was like an IEM 2018 photo or something like that. But I mean, but you've signed with a few orgs previously as well, right? Like you've been, I think it's
never-
Ferox is one of them.
I was never signed to Ferox. The
Okay,
only
so Mishka, I'm calling you out.
no. I asked for no contract. I was just representing them for the time being.
Okay.
The only
that's
org that
fair.
I can say I've ever actually been signed to is Overt.
Okay, which is fair enough because Abaya knows what the fuck he's doing, so that's fair.
Mm.
I guess, like, really to touch on things a little bit more thoroughly. I guess if we want to touch on, I guess what you were entitled to regarding payment, like the length of your contract, how much were you entitled to? Was there any promises that he promised you? Anything along those lines specifically?
I mean, well, it started up like he got us all into a meeting and he told us the rundown how there was this 90 month trial period between the signing of our contract and the renegotiations, to which we'd all be I think it varied between a few people, but I know for me I was being paid 500 a month for that time. Well, I was supposed to be paid 500 a month.
Yes.
Okay.
What? 90-day trial?
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Yeah, even in that agreement as well, it's like a 90-day trial period or something like that. But that was like the stock standard template. I think most players and teams and such go. But yeah, even then, like it's not really a contract either. It's more just like a workers agreement. So I guess if we're speaking legally, he technically doesn't owe anything, just on the basis that it's not actually a legally, binding contracted agreement, which it is a bit shit if you think about it. But yeah, quite honestly, I guess across the board, like if I'm not gonna list off too many players regarding everything, but I think just looking at the money that was owed, we did touch base with Repulse as well regarding everything. He's owed around about $3,000 for 2 months. So I know Repulse is a pretty, he's a pretty well known Fortnite player as well that I've talked to previously, and he was going to be on a contract for a full year, so that's 18 grand. That is technically owed by his agreement. Followed by obviously yourself, which was 2 months. I think it was a 3-month trial that you were technically entitled to, which is like $1,500. Asphalt did also touch base with us, and it's around about 1,600. Alongside Remy as well, who I also had a brief discussion to regarding everything, since he did actually leave us to go to Frag Empire because he had to help his mother out a bit more with finances specifically. So it's an opportunity that he wanted to go for, and he got fucked over for it, which I find pretty stupid, honestly, because he was trying to do the right thing for his family. And then there was a tweet as well from Hall saying that he was entitled to about $300 worth of graphics. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Like, I don't know an org off my at all. Probably excluding the big dogs who pay that much for a lot of those individuals. No offense, obviously, to those guys, but it is a lot of money to be throwing around.
Especially considering, well, like I don't know how many tournaments are being run. Bumpy, you could probably talk about this, like for FNCS stuff like that. Especially, yeah, like throwing that amount of money for probably not a lot of return, considering how little of a tournament scene there is at the
I
moment.
mean, I'm not really involved in Fortnite anymore, but I know that there's at least three, maybe four, like money tournaments per week. But even then, it's a pretty low sum of money, and I think it's only some like top 3, top 4 teams actually make the prize pool. So
okay, because I know specifically I know the viewership for Fortnite is good because obviously a bunch of kids do like watching Fortnite players play, and it is quite a mechanically inspiring game. It's one of the best out there regarding that. But on the other side of things, like if you really got to put your money where your mouth is and wonder where that return is going to be coming from, just if you got to sit back and look at things, the amount of money that he was actually spending on those salaried individuals, it's a lot of money for no return. And I know he was all about giving people an opportunity and so on and so forth, which it's all fine and dandy unless you get paid, right? But yeah, I know at least for us when we got out of Fortnite briefly, like Remy was a creator for us, but we got out of the competitive side of things. I'm a big fan of, I guess, like the community that Fortnite does have, despite some of the toxicity that's in there. But most people do get along pretty well. They support each other, which is nice. But yeah, it's just a really shit spot because it's not just the Fortnite guys who've been fucked over; it's also the COD team as well. Because I know we were talking to the COD guys. I don't know if you talk to them at all. I doubt it, but they're pretty well owned, around about $1,500 for their agreements as well.
Jeez. They were with Chiefs before that one.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
And then I'm
so
pretty
you've
sure
gone from the pinnacle of Australian
sure a few of
orgs
them back in like, I don't know, 2017, 18 maybe. They were a part of Mindfreak, which at the time were the biggest COD team in APAC. So they were competing in the CDL. So they were, traveling to the US and, competing at all the majors. So
because I know allegedly as well, from what we have seen, both from I guess like the Brain Risk podcast where TNA's owner was on there, apparently, at least according to those sources, the ex Frag Empire boys along with Teddy were actually meant to join TNA apparently. But obviously since all this shit has hit the fan, I haven't seen anything since that point because I know everyone's kind of just been boycotting them a little bit regarding everything. And I know the COD team probably wouldn't want to go to another, brand where they're typically orientated more so around the Fortnite side of things because they may be a little bit sketchy potentially about it, which, I can respect as well in that regard, obviously, after this sort of situation.
Yeah, that's a bit cursed. I suppose
Get to the
we
spice, Tony.
get at
Yeah,
the
you know-
spice. The
You know how
hacking.
we were talking? You know how we discussed that for 5 weeks straight?
Mm,
This is the fun part, right? Because the amount of shit that was posted. Now, I don't know what your thoughts were on this bumper, but we predicted this like fucking bang on. Where I think he did it himself, and he's got his way out of it. I reckon that was the entire deal around it.
Yeah.
It seems to have added up at this point.
I mean, I kind of fucked up. I had
what way?
I had been messaged by so many different people telling me to be careful and watch what I was doing, and I completely just disregarded it all.
Ooh.
But yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay.
That-
I'm gonna have to kick you out for that
that's a
one.
Ah,
big
shit.
fuck up on my part. That's a big fuck
Listen,
up. on my
I can understand if you're like, you're under the brand, you can give them the benefit of the doubt. Especially, with the stuff they were intending on giving to you as well. I can completely respect that. But as I guess like we've discussed on previous episodes, I think it was episode 1 through to 4 regarding everything that happened. It pretty well went exactly what we thought it would, because for the most part, with those agreements that I guess he did have in place at the time,
Fucking called
shit
it.
really just did not look good at all. Because if you're looking at it now, all of those agreements weren't really, legitimate. And straight away, if you're going to sit there and look at me saying, "Oh, he dipped for other reasons," I'd tell you go fuck yourself, honestly, because I think it's, pretty stock standard to see shit like that happen, and it is unfortunate again because people have been trying to get a bit more money in the pocket, a bit more money in the bank, because again, I know you guys are all passionate about what you guys do as well, so it is a little bit unfortunate. But I guess on the other side of things as well, regarding the hacking and everything like that, like I know we can't specifically name management members that were involved specifically, but I guess in your opinion, was there anyone other than Teddy, I guess, that may have potentially known regarding anything at all?
regarding what he was going to do.
Regarding, I guess, like any of the hacking or
Oh, yeah,
disappearing.
there
I don't
was,
want you to name them, obviously, but if
yeah,
you
there-
think there was someone else involved.
There was definitely someone else involved. There was an ex-member who was dropped because he didn't show up to a few meetings. Who was one of the managers at the time. Who then I believe leaked the password to a few people who then had the access on the Twitter, and that's when everything kicked off.
Okay. That I don't know, because I think most of the kids were under the age of 17 that he gave the password to, or something like that. I don't want to stereotype people, obviously, but personally, I wouldn't give my password out to a bunch of 14, 15, 16-year-olds. I'd probably cop a lot of shit for that. Not gonna lie, don't think you guys would probably do the same either.
Not the greatest look for your Twitter, honestly.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't trust anyone over maybe 17 with my Twitter if I let them, do bits and pieces like that. I think it's a bit stupid, but
I wouldn't even trust Tony.
yeah, honestly,
I say
wouldn't
some
trust
dumb
you
shit on
either,
Twitter.
Tom. You spelt frag as what? Frag as
Frag.
Frag. It's like
Yeah.
you're
I'm
not only,
illiterate, leave me
it's like
alone.
you're illiterate.
I just say some dumb shit on Twitter, honestly. It's
You
You're
Ah.
just like that. You're like that professional bloke who just checks shit. But we have also got a guest who's going to be coming in now. I think his name's is it Joby? I think is one of the blokes who's doing, I guess, some of the investigating regarding everything. Sam's has just sent me a message, so we're going to get him thrown in here and we can have a chat with him. I'll just drag him into the call. We'll see, I guess, what he has to say regarding everything.
Go B, what he said in the chat.
Hello,
Yo, what's up?
how we doing?
Pretty good yourself?
Yeah,
not bad.
good. I mean, let's talk, right? Because obviously we've been talking a little regarding that investigative work you've been going through, and
Yeah.
all the little bits and pieces regarding everything. I guess other than what we've touched on so far with Bumper, is there anything specific I guess you want to touch on other than there are a few things obviously with the giveaways and everything in between, but we'll discuss that in a bit.
So I know
Was there
a
anything
decent amount.
specific?
So
Alright,
I know
hit us
a
with it.
decent amount about. So we can go the hacking, Teddy's personal life, how I'm pretty sure the ABN he had for the team is faked, how he claims to own a multi-million-dollar worth business, but there's no evidence of the business being under his name. There's something else really important. Stuff he's said to me and other people, all of us being 16, 17, 15. That's just really weird of him to say. for how old he is, etc., etc.
Mhm.
There's like all that stuff. If
Now,
you
when
want to
you say
ask
weird,
about,
you say weird, do you mean sexual?
I wouldn't say sexual, but edging towards that type of point, yeah.
All right, let's keep
Okay.
that part off. I'll talk about that part.
It's like
Yeah.
I'll go into a small depth about it, but you know, Soaked, he
Mhm.
he got a bunch of information on Soaked, like personal information. Soaked is 16 years old, and he said Soak's name. He said, "Oh, Soak's name," and then he said, "I'm going to take Soak's mum's name on a date to shopping center near Soaked," which is just really weird.
Why
Like
goes to a shopping center? It's kind of like
shopping center, as in like a shopping mall.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like who
Yeah,
takes a
that's-
date there?
that's
Like, that's
some-
kind of lowballing.
Oh, I
That's
don't know,
For a
but he said he
millionaire,
was going
that's
to take
kinda
his.
lowballing.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, he couldn't
said
even
he was gonna
afford to
take
pay
his
his
mum on a
players and
date
like go
there.
to a fucking,
That's
you know,
fucking weird.
he's
That's the
probably
whole thing about
broke,
his money,
you
though.
know?
He couldn't like a year ago he had fraud charges against him because he couldn't afford to pay his rent, and that's why I first called him out. Like, how does he go from not being able to pay his rent and having charges against him to then being able to have people on $1,000 contracts that aren't worth $1,000?
Yeah, because I know when we were discussing this, you sent me a few images, which
Yeah,
obviously we're not going to discuss anything on stream specifically, but when we were discussing it originally, he has had charges. Like he's had a criminal offense to his name in New Zealand for
yeah.
basically not paying rent. I'm
There's
pretty
also
sure
multiple assault
there's
charges.
also assault charges. He's been in prison once apparently as well. So like
Nice.
this isn't
Yeah.
like alleged shit. This is legitimate. Like this is stuff that we've seen at least from I guess like real IRL sources, not just
Yeah.
esport bullshit.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
it's just not a good look, honestly. I'm surprised no one did a background check on this dude before he even got into something like Frag Empire as well.
I
because-
did. Before he was a part of before he owned Frag Empire, I called him out as well as Hen, as I'm pretty sure he's spoken to Hen, but we both called him out, we both exposed him, and then the second he made a team, I instantly was like, how's this gonna work? How is he gonna afford put people on contracts? Like, it has to be fake. And I just received backlash after backlash. And I was like, I'm telling you guys, give it a few months, it's gonna fail. And you're gonna
Yeah.
realize
I
he's
mean,
lying to all of you.
even now as well, like we've had scenarios like this in the past. I can easily compare this to an awkward oddity who used to be in Siege, and they had a Organa who went through allegations as well regarding grooming and assaults and
Yeah.
stuff like
Catholic
that as
priest.
well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was.
it wasn't it wasn't the prettiest thing. And it is a pain in the ass to see shit like that happen. Obviously, I know there's a lot of brands in the space, especially, in Fortnite. I'm easily going to throw Abayo, Avert in there. I'm going to throw JFT in there.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing the right things, which is good.
Yeah.
Because, they're trying to set the standard for what players
That
should be
new
doing.
Wrath team's looking good so far. They seem reliable.
They're doing, like, at least with the new ones, they're doing good. Obviously, they
Yeah.
still have to prove themselves in the space and do a little bit better. But I think for the most part, I guess for anybody who's tuning into the stream or anybody who's, I guess, getting into esports in the space, do the background research on, I guess, who owns the org and, just touch base with other people about them, because there may be a new brand in the space, but they could A, be trying to scam you as what we've experienced now, or B, they're actually trying to do some legitimate work and try and make something off it.
What were the other
So-
topics you mentioned I knew? I said like 5 different topics. If you want to like ask any questions into them, then I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah.
See.
I mean, if anyone has got questions, I guess, regarding anything, feel free to post them in the chat. My first question is, Tom, why are you eating a pizza on your lap? Let me show the camera. Like, come on.
Yeah. What kind of
Thomas.
pizza is it? You're muted. Glad you muted. We didn't hear a word you said.
Ah, fuck.
That's
okay,
right.
yeah,
The
alright,
3080
yeah.
giveaway.
I pressed the button and it didn't unmute. All right, now I'm embarrassed. Ah,
There's
nah,
the,
fuck you, well, it's my pizza.
There's the 3080 giveaway thing.
A 30-30 giveaway.
The 3080 giveaway. The
Right.
80
So
ounces.
okay. So we'll touch on that briefly. I've got the notes here. So
Yeah.
basically, this is the summary we've got. Again, not naming any names. Community members have come forward stating that Teddy did a giveaway basically for 10 3070s on his YouTube channel, which is roughly around $14,000
Oh, $14.
worth of shit. 14,000, Tom. That's a lot of
graphics
Zinger
card?
boxes, all right?
Mate. You said
That's a lot of
$14
Zinger
first.
boxes.
Damn.
Yeah,
Hey,
listen, I'm
$14,000
tired.
doing the
alright?
maths.
Give me. Yeah, do the Zinger maths. But it's $14,000 worth of goods for a small organization giveaway. Again, I think that's full of shit because again, we wouldn't fucking do that for the life of me. 14 grand is a lot of shit to give away. Allegedly, individuals who had to provide their addresses for this giveaway as well. Basically, every time they contacted him, he pushed them back. And additionally, on top of that as well, is that there was threats against potentially doxing those individuals as well.
All right, back to the Zinger boxes real quick. It's 13,052.
That's a
Right,
lot.
So that's more than enough to feed one person per follower on the Fury
I was
Twitter.
gonna say
And if you guys
that's
haven't done that yet, fucking follow
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
BTH.
shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Again, if anyone hasn't followed the fucking BTH account on Twitter, just do it. We have a Discord. You guys can tune in, see us talk shit a little bit. It's all fun and games.
See me
But
eat pizza
I guess
again.
Joby, am I right in saying that? Am I right in saying that this
Um,
individual
From
basically
what I've heard about the threats, yes, you are right. I don't have any solid confirmation, but judging on how things have been going recently and all the stuff that's unpacked around him, I would not doubt he would do that.
okay? Because I know the YouTube video is still up. He hasn't deleted it, so
Yeah.
clearly he's not very good at hiding his footsteps.
I mean, he's a
First step
convicted
of committing a
criminal.
crime, hide the evidence.
Yeah.
Not leave it on YouTube for everyone to see. Second thing as well, when you've got people posting DMs on Twitter about everything, just the worst look. It's not the prettiest thing in the world.
Yeah. There was also pretty sure from what I remember, the video about the giveaway was posted on March 26th, 2021. Yeah. And then there was the fact it was meant to be given away a month from then. So it's been what, like 3-4 months since the giveaway was hosted, and there was no talk of it after the day he announced it. There was no talk about it. He never mentioned it again, never brought it back up. It was all like it was obvious that it was never gonna happen.
So it's like
Okay.
a phased tweet. It's all bait.
Yeah, it was basically just impressions. He's probably just trying to build up
Sonic-
his team and his reputation.
Sign a contract for 24 hours and you're suddenly in phase.
Yeah.
I didn't even get the
That's
contract.
how
man,
it
I'm
is.
spewing.
Fuck.
Did you forget the contract? Oh, that's just how it is. I mean, Bumper, I guess coming back to you because I know you've been a little bit quiet over there. I'm just going to pick on you a little bit here as well. I guess for the most part, when you were in Frag Empire, I guess was there any positive things while you're in there? Like, was there any, I guess, individuals who were pretty good at helping you out, or was there anyone, I guess, who was directing you in the right spot? If you want to, I guess, not call out, but just give someone a bit of credit because obviously it's a shit situation, and I really don't want to bag the whole org as a whole because I know it's one guy that's fucked everyone around.
One of the managers who doesn't want his name disclosed was, one of the people that was really, really helpful. Always, he was like he was the fastest to reply all the time. Like he was dedicated to what he did. He was just super helpful, and that's pretty much it. Like if we needed any, GFX stuff or VFX work done, he was first person to go to. He took over when Teddy wasn't around, which Teddy was,
Cool.
he was never around too often. But yeah, he was just there always.
If I'm coughing up 20 grand a month, I'd probably want to be around and see what the fuck people are doing.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But
yeah, from the start, Teddy was saying everything would be going through the other managers because of his
Okay.
incredibly busy schedule, and yeah,
What do you think he actually spends his days doing?
I wouldn't have a clue, mate.
Different crack.
I don't know.
So, listen, I mean, from what we know, he does. I think he works for a law firm in New Zealand, which not a law firm, a fucking sales agency, which is quite funny because he can't fucking sell himself out of the situation. But he claimed to own a company, wasn't owned by him. It was owned by his parents. So, parents' money, parents' mum's credit card.
12-year-old tactics.
Credit cards and debt, no money there to spend on the players. Unfortunate.
Lucky.
Yeah, I guess I know after this is done, I'm putting a case together with Hazi as well, who's a close friend of ours. And we are going to be going to the New Zealand Esports Federation as well, just to, I guess, put a claim in and say, hey, this guy did this. We've got the details. And, you
Do
know,
you think-
hopefully they're action it.
Do you think if Law brings to it the players that he owes money will end up getting paid if it goes that far?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's extremely unlikely they're going to get paid, but quite frankly, I don't mind. Like in this scenario, in my personal opinion, I think it's better that he gets, you know, some form of, you know, disciplinary action in comparison to these guys getting paid. Because if they're going off, I guess the agreements they sign, it's not even legal to begin with, which is a
One
bit of a shit.
thing
spot,
I heard, the one thing I heard you guys mention earlier with like Remy and him wanting to help out his like mum with bills and stuff with the money, that just like pisses me off because I guarantee
Yeah.
he would have spoken to Teddy about that and Teddy would have been like, oh yeah, we'll definitely help with that. And then Teddy's just gone and fucked them over, ruined things with Fury, ruined like he probably promised his mum that he'd be able to help her and he's just had it chucked in his face.
Yeah, which again, since like he was with us before, like all three of us,
Yeah.
other than Bumper, are with Fury. So it's, I know he left for a good reason. That's why we let him go. And we're like, cool, go help your mum. That's cool. But obviously, since he's been fucked over, I want to do as much as I can to,
Yeah.
I guess, bring this fucker to justice. But for the most part, you know, if the case does go to the Federation and they actually pick it up and they contact this guy, we've got more than enough evidence to put against him, and hopefully there is something that comes from it. Because
Put him back in the
I
slammer.
think it's a
Does anyone have
think it's a-
Remy's Discord?
I mean, I do, but I know he's not around at the moment. But
Alright.
I think for the most part, I wish there's going to be more stuff like this that happens recently, because I know Paradox's Twitter got hacked. The owner actually put a lawsuit in for the guy who hacked the Twitter. So you know, shit like that. Like there needs to be more to come from situations like this where shit's actually going to get done in comparison to what's happened before. And I know Lockie's just asked what action could be done. I don't know, man. Like for all I know, there could be some kind of lawsuit. Is that the pizza done, or is that?
Do you guys know anything about
Yeah, I
the
don't think so.
hackings of? I know quite a lot about the hackings to do with Frag Empire, as I was the one that originally took the Twitter the first time.
Yeah. Wait, so you
So-
took the Twitter originally, did you?
Yeah, the first time. So
you didn't
that
tweet
happened
all that
because
stupid shit, did you?
no, all I tweeted because at the time Teddy was shit talking me. Teddy and I had like some beef then, and I took his Twitter account. I was given the password by his manager, and I took it and I was just like, "Don't shit talk me ever again," and gave myself a shout out. And then after that, he spent like an hour on a call with me talking to me. I gave him his login info back. I helped him set up 2FA, helped him put all that together. So the fact that the Twitter was taken the second time is definitely either something he arranged or purposely did himself, because I literally watched him set up 2FA. I helped him do it.
Don't forget the fact you almost leaked all my shit, but we'll leave that for another time.
We'll leave that for us, Stream, if you guys want to.
We'll leave that for another time.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
think if we're gonna put pen to paper and I guess talk about this as well regarding the hacking, it's like the first time if you did it, that was on the time where all the gross shit got posted, and I'm cool with that. You know,
Yeah.
do as you wish. I'm not approving of it, but also like, you know, you do you. I don't really mind as long as it's not my Twitter getting hacked. I'm fucking chilled.
Yeah.
I want to see Joe's
but-
DMs with all the egos.
Yeah, all those fucking, you know, $100 earning Fortnite players fucking
Yeah.
sliding through all the time, but it's always fun. But yeah, I guess really, in your opinion, for the other two times that happened, do you think that was him that posted that shit to get himself out? Because personally, I
Honestly-
think he's full of shit.
I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest. I wouldn't doubt it. Like he posted like it was videos of what the Christchurch thing, and he himself is New Zealand, so I feel like I don't know if he would post that, but at the same time it kind of makes sense. But
Yeah.
you know, is that
Okay.
Teddy? And I feel like that's a fake Teddy.
It's
In the
definitely a
chat.
Teddy.
Nah, it's definitely just ignore it. I know it's someone just trolling. Which is
Um,
fine.
Don't
if,
just do this.
if it was Teddy,
Tom could probably just ban him, time him out.
Just ban
It's
the
not hard.
account. Go on.
One click and he's gone. Bang, gone. Bumper, what were you saying? Sorry.
if those videos were Teddy, I just want to know why he chose Soaked and someone else to put all the blame on.
No. So
Because-
what happened was, so Soaked was like fucking around and trying to get Teddy to pay him. So Soaked
Okay.
basically took credit originally and tried to take credit for the hacking because I was in call with Teddy and he was trying to get Teddy to pay him to tell him who did it. That's all Soaked wanted. Soaked wanted money.
Yeah.
So he was basically
Okay, so he
faking
was
knowing.
blackmailing him. So he was blackmailing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
basically.
was like, give me money, I'll tell you who did it because he wanted money. He's a 16-year-old teenager who doesn't want money at that
Yeah.
age.
Okay. It's just, I think, really for the most part, I guess, with you guys being in like previously involved or currently involved in Fortnite, like, Tony, you good? I see you
Yeah,
looking at me.
sorry. I just saw Bones write hashtag Tony Thick as I come back into the room.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Men of the fight.
Okay. Okay, so there's also something else
Mm.
about what Teddy said to Soaked. He said to Soaked that he was like, because he knows where Soaked lives, he has a general idea, and he told Soaked that he was going to get his boys up in an area close by to come down and like bash Soaked pretty much.
So,
yes, I
is
remember.
there evidence of that, or is it just an
Um,
alleged claim?
I can
Because
get
there's
it from Soaked. I can get it from Soaked.
I don't know that, like, I haven't seen the messages, but I do remember Teddy talking about that. Yeah.
Because again,
And
I
if
don't
someone-
want to put too much false evidence out. Because again, in this situation, this is not just being streamed as well. This is going on other platforms. So I
Yeah.
just want to make
Yeah.
it clear to other viewers who
I don't know.
are listening into this.
I don't know if
'Cause
that
I
was
know-
exactly what Teddy was like. If that was exactly what Teddy said, but he said something along the lines of that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was quote for quote. I have like boys up in Woodridge, which is an area about 30 minutes away from Soaked. If you know Woodridge, I live in Brisbane too, which is where Woodridge is. It's like, if any of you from Sydney, it's like the Mount Druitt of Brisbane.
Oh God. Oh fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. Yep. Yeah, I get you. Fuck.
Okay.
Go our Elizabeth
Um,
and Manapara, or no longer for you.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Not the greatest spot to be in. It's a bit
Yeah.
shit, honestly. I know we've also got Northex who's probably going to be popping in shortly, hopefully to have a chat as well, because I know he was one of the, I guess, like core managers behind Frag Empire as well. He works close with Teddy as well. Yeah, I guess while we're just waiting, I guess, for Northex to potentially join in, is there anyone, I guess, like in the chat who specifically has any questions for any one of us surrounding this, or I guess regarding the Empire situation, anything specific, I guess, because again, it's an open discussion for everybody. I know I'm not going to get everybody in the fucking Discord because again, there's a
well,
lot of people who probably say some nasty things. If I got to be
I've
honest.
got a good question. I've got
Can
a
I
thing
bring?
to say.
Can we bring Teddy on the podcast? No, I don't want to bring someone who's, been in the prison, been fined, been kicked out, been fucking harassing people. I've got better things to do with my time than deal with some piece of scum. If I'm going to be honest.
Teddy is an adult, right?
Um,
That's what Teddy's what, like mid-20s.
fucking hope so.
He's
Pretty sure, yeah.
30.
All right, so he's
He's
30,
30?
and he's
Fuck.
been saying he's gonna bash kids.
Yeah,
I-
he's saying he's gonna
I'm-
get his boys to bash kids. Like,
yeah,
it's
I'm
just
not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think he's even a man.
Yeah.
I think he's just scum.
Yeah, good point. Is a pussy. Yeah, you're
He's
not
just
wrong.
scum. It's straightforward. That's just scum. Like, if you want to see a feral, just look at his Twitter profile. Basically,
Is that the question? Is that even him? Because I know we
I've
tracked.
seen two photos, and they're two different people.
Yeah, that's the thing as well.
One's a
But I
skinny
think,
crackhead, and the other one's that dude with a dog. Like what?
Yeah,
wait,
I'm
what are we
backing the
looking
skinny
at?
crackhead. I'm gonna put that on sports bet. We're gonna have the odds. He's sick. Leave us alone.
Yep. Yeah. Please, ESIC. We do not condone the use of gambling unless you're of age, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
18 plus, please.
18 plus,
if-
please. Yep.
Yeah. And if like, oh, actually, I think they're talking about going 21 plus at the moment now as well.
Good thing I'm 21 then. Thank God.
Maybe you
I'm
can't
lucky,
start.
Joe.
It's again for everyone. Again for everyone who's in chat. Like we have got details about Teddy. Obviously, I'm not going to fucking say it on stream because we have conducted an investigation for them. We're going to report it obviously as well. But I think it's fair enough we have this discussion because again, there's that many people who are in the dark about everything. I think it's not really the greatest, if we're going to be honest. Like he comes out one day and saying, "Oh yeah, we're closing because I got a better opportunity with a recognizable international org," and then, well, fucking straight after that, he just dips off the face of the earth, deletes his fucking Twitter account, ends up changing the FE app to something else. His Discord is basically MIA. Like, I don't know, man. It's a bit stupid if you ask me.
Trying to
Bones,
message
can you
Jake right now.
Bones,
Yeah,
can you
about-
ban that recent guy just above Rio's message? Thank you.
I feel like
Timeout, maybe. Give him
yeah,
a
I feel like
timeout.
I'm gonna purge him. It's like, I'll give him chances.
There you go.
Oh, fucking E6
One-
rocked up.
one whole-
Jesus Christ.
Sick. Ah, shit.
E6
Shit.
rocked up. Holy shit.
Boys.
Boys, run and hide.
The return of ESEC. It's back, boys. It's back.
Hashtag free foggers.
Yeah, about the whole closing thing. It was so instant. Like one day Teddy was
Just like
telling us,
it's like every other org. Like
Yeah.
I think, like everyone's oh yeah, we're closing. Bang, Discord gone, Twitter gone. Bang, bang, bang. Twitlonger up, and we're fucked off. That's like it's in 5 minutes.
One
and we're
day,
just
yeah,
waking up.
one day Teddy was telling us that like he was sticking in for the long run and he was dedicated to giving us like all the opportunities and everything.
Yeah,
and
I saw
then
that tweet.
a day later he's told the
disappeared.
manager to gather everyone up, get into a meeting to say that the org was closing, and he
Yeah.
was fucking off with his COD boys to a different org.
And we know
Yeah, I
that's
don't know
bullshit.
about.
Yeah,
We know that's
Fucking-
bullshit because now the COD boys have messaged one of the Chiefs owners about it and said their own money, and I got Sav's permission to talk about it on stream, so that's cool.
Shout out to Sav.
But yeah, we've actually got Northex. It's just basically popped into the court, so we're going to drag him in. Joby Bumper, I hope you don't have any bad blood with him. Don't want to hear you
Who
chat
is it?
smack.
I
Northex.
don't even know who Northex is.
Cool. All right, now you do. Where are we? You there? You're good. You here? Did you enjoy your Netflix series?
Yeah.
What did you
You
watch?
know, like,
That's the real que-
the
What did you
new
watch?
the new Money Horse season.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, is
Yeah.
it any good? Don't spoil it. Is it any good?
Look, the first 2 episodes, yeah, they're alright. Yeah, there's a little bit that happens. Yeah,
A little bit of that. All right. No spoilers.
Start
That's good.
season
That's
2
good.
Right,
look,
so,
some bits are a little bit boring, but yeah.
That's most TV shows. Don't worry about it.
Northex, talk to me.
Yep.
You know,
Hello.
your besties with Teddy. You know who he was.
Yep.
I guess. I don't know.
What do you want
I
to
don't know
know?
what to say. I don't know.
Is this
what
live?
do you know?
Yes, this is live.
Yeah,
We're-
it
we're
is live. This
Oh.
is live. Everything's on
Yo.
stream. Again, don't name drop people.
Yeah, no.
We've had this discussion.
And
So I
don't
guess,
define
like, in
things.
your-
Besides Teddy.
Back to the main topic. You know, besides the big man himself.
Yep.
When you were under Frag Empire, give us the rundown, I guess, of I don't know, daily operations. Was Teddy around much? Was there many fake
Yeah.
promises for you guys? Were you pretty transparent about things? Were you involved with this whole cover up? Do I need to report you to ESEC as well?
Nah. Look, Teddy was he was pretty quiet for the most part that I was there. He didn't really say much unless he had news for us. Like he was always there like to talk to, but he wasn't, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Just,
He
I
was-
just
he was
realized
there,
every
but he
time we
wasn't there.
discuss this, every time we talk about this, it sounds like we're talking about someone who's just like died and passed on.
Yeah, I know.
It's like-
Well, they've disappeared. So
He was around.
Yeah, well,
he was-
technically, yeah.
potato, potato. You know,
Yeah.
same shit, different
Yeah,
day.
There was I was kept in loop with everything, so I wasn't left out of anything. So everything that anything that he needed, it's like had a decision or whatever it was, I was always involved. Me and Magoli, we were the only 2 managers there at the time when it ended, so there wasn't really too much that there's not really anyone that knows fully what Teddy said in our private meeting with me, Teddy, and Magoli. So yeah, it's a big messy shit show.
Okay. I guess regarding the day of closure, when he basically just launched that upon the world, did you see that coming? I guess when he said that the
No.
org would finish, or not, just dropped the bombshell and
Nah,
fucked
look,
off. Is
it
that
was 2 days earlier. He was saying about how much he wanted to build the community and give the players what they wanted.
Do you mind if I just butt in real quick? Because Teddy was also saying like all these things, all these Twitter hacks, and like all this shit that happens with Twitter, they're just minor setbacks, and that it's not going to cause anything. yeah, he was just saying shit like that, and that like it's not going to do anything. Like they're all just minor setbacks. We're going to recover from like pretty quickly. But yeah,
I feel
I don't know,
like
man.
something had to have happened in like his personal life, or something was going on for him have to go from we're never ending to ending. Like
Nah,
something happened.
I think it was just more that reality hit him. Like between him saying he owns this business, that business, is this income, that income. I think it all hit him that maybe it's not true, and that he's just promised these people a proper salary that a bit overpriced with some people, but a salary that they could only dream of, and then he's realized that nah, like this isn't gonna happen, and I've just stuffed around 15 players.
No, that's fair
Um,
enough.
Maybe, but then like also like there's also the fact that he had charges against him for frauding rent. So I doubt he would just be like, oh no, this is wrong. If he's capable of not paying rent to multiple people at one time,
Nah, I think it was just more that people were like, it all got to him, if that makes
starting
sense.
to
So like,
starting to catch
there
on.
were there were multiple dams a day to him, like just bagging him out. And I think it all just caught up that he's pretty much down shit creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think JSH has summed it up where he says his lies have caught up with him. I reckon that's like a bang on
Yeah,
statement,
yeah,
honestly,
100%.
regarding it. Yeah, I guess along the lines of things for you as well, Northex, like obviously we touched base on the contract and how brain dead that was. Now, I don't know if I asked you this previously, but did you actually read that contract yourself before it actually went out to players? Because I know you were in a pretty solid position regarding the management spot. Because I know if I'm Teddy in this situation, I'm giving my contracts to Bones. He reads them before he sends them to like creators that we send them to. So in this
Yeah.
circumstance, I send the contracts to Bones. Bones sends it to Tony. Tony signs it and comes back to me.
I read it
So
before I
literally
sign it,
three
though.
people who are in that circuit are in this Discord. So I guess in your scenario, has that been something that you had to go through yourself, or was that just a direct line between him and them?
By the time that I joined, all those contracts and plays were like permanently set. So I definitely missed all that part. I never saw a contract until we saw it the other day. The way he spoke, he said he had legal teams do up the contracts and all that. Like everything he said and the way he said it made it seem so believable. Like it
He
was
told me he
ridiculous.
was going to get the Australian Federal Police to come to my door to question me because I said I was friends with Soaked IRL.
A bit
Yeah.
far-fetched.
Hold up. We're gonna get the police onto you because you're friends with someone.
Yep, that's he told
Sounds like the kid that got bullied in school and wasn't allowed to play at lunch.
Yeah, he said the AFP were coming to my house because to question me because I was friends with Soaked in real life.
That makes zero
Yeah.
sense.
and Soaked was the one that was accused of posting all the gore and stuff on Twitter, or someone that Soaked knew.
Yeah, I mean, from what he's just sent us as well, like he has actually just sent us an image in the chat regarding Teddy actually saying something that he would do with his.
Hold on,
parents.
Twitch TOS. Can't talk about that topic.
I'm not saying it.
Don't believe Strock. That's
Not
100% a
friends,
fake photo.
Yeah.
I'm
Listen,
best friends with Strock. That's a fake
again,
photo.
it's all good. It's an image there that we can see, but it's fine, right? I guess.
I
Okay,
think
so
the biggest
what's
part
it-
with the contracts is that no managers actually saw the contracts that were a part of the team. The only people that saw the contracts were the people that he sent it to and their managers if they got to see it. So none of us behind the scenes got to see what he was sending out.
Okay. So
Okay.
we have
which
a
I think is
creator-
pretty stupid personally, because I think at least when you're in a position where he's claiming to be in, I never directly send an agreement to my players. I send them through my managers so they can proof check it for that reason. Because I guess if you saw this agreement, you would have gone, "What the fuck is this shit?" And you would have turned around.
Yeah,
and
no.
said,
If I saw it before,
happening?
like when all those players were getting signed, I would have been like a big no straight away. Like the contract pretty disgustingly bad. Like they're probably the worst I've seen ever.
I made the joke about it being written on a napkin, and I think I was fucking bang on by that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have a face cam if you guys want to replace me with top right, seeing as it's kind of just a still image.
He's
I'm
basically
pretty-
a still image in
right.
life anyway. He's built like a friggin'
Yeah, I'm a
big
depressed
stick.
little fuck. No one likes me.
He's
Um,
literally on 4 FPS.
it's all fine and dandy, but I guess obviously we can only talk about this so much because there's more shit that hasn't come through yet. We're still yet to see if this guy's gonna still go to TNA or like if he's gonna re-alias and come back through another brand that's gonna fuck them over again.
I just remembered, like from someone said in chat something about agent, and he wasn't he like a management for agent. If anyone's close
Yeah,
to
so
agent management, you can get someone like that in call to discuss like their experience with him when he was part of agent.
yeah, because I guess really at this point we're not going to discuss this on further episodes. This is mainly just one where we can get everything out and have a discussion
Yeah.
about it. But again, like there is going to be a case that gets presented to the esports fed again. So if anyone does have any valid evidence in the chat, not just one screenshot of one message, I want to see fucking full detailed shit.
Yeah, not some
either-
inspect element shit. Come on, boys.
Yeah, I'm on top
Yeah.
of that.
Tom,
I've just
what's
got
the bring the heat email again? What's that? Is
good
it just
fucking
BDH?
question. Let me go on to Gmail and get it from the right hand
He
side.
can
of
have a
screen.
look, but if anyone's interested, you can go to the BTH Twitter, which again, if you haven't followed podcast BTH, go to it, send us a message in our DMs if you've got any evidence. Join the Discord at one of our hosts and give us a bit of evidence because again, everything we can get is going to help with this case. But I guess on a final note, before I guess we
before
take
we go there, Joe, before we go there, I do have the GFX contract
Ooh.
from someone
Okay.
in chat
Can
who
you
has
can you send that?
claimed-
That'd be Scani, I reckon.
Yeah, Scunny has claimed
Yeah.
also that there is 30
Okay.
days unpaid
Ooh.
work
Okay.
through a trial as well. So
If he's cool with that, send it in the
I've
chat
got it. I've
we've
already got it. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Joe,
Um,
just another thing that when you bring up Tina, I can't say too much about it, but that's a no go. Like that got
That's just
fucking
full
hope
of
not,
through.
otherwise I'm gonna just
that.
ruin
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I can't say too much about it, but it's not gonna happen. It was in the talks, as everyone probably knows from that podcast that Kirsch did, but that's completely gone now. That's never happening.
Alright.
It's
Okay.
in the
Well-
podcast host discussion chat.
I'm gonna have a quiz real quick. Now is this is literally the same as what
This is a copy paste, but
I
Like-
haven't read through
so
it. I'm
again-
going through it now.
Scotty, if you're still in the chat, buddy, if you go to the last page and look in the bottom left of that, it still says Lord what is it, Lord Depot?
Yeah, Lord
Sorry,
Depot.com.
lorddepot.com. If you go
It's
to it, it
Depot.
literally still has the templated shit. So
That's
I mean,
Depot, Joe Budden.
let's. I guess we like to keep this around about an hour, obviously for our Spotify viewers and shit. So
Mm.
I guess to wrap things up for the guys, I guess in the Discord, do you have any final notes to add on before we discuss or take chat questions? I guess regarding anything for that matter.
No, I think we covered all the major parts of what happened. Which everything else. I can't even think of anything at the moment. But if anything else did happen, it was really minor.
Cool. JB Northex.
Nothing that comes to mind at the moment.
Cool.
I mean, if we had more time, there's probably a bit more to bring up, but just in a short time.
I mean, hey, if you got more shit you want to mention, we're here.
Yeah.
So
uh,
listen, I'm open to
Uh,
anything you
Isaiah,
want to
what's your
mention at
question?
all.
Bayo's got a question.
Yeah, Bayo's got a question. Let's hear from the washing machine logo. guy.
Okay, we'll listen. We'll take a few questions from the chat, and then we'll, I guess, if you want to talk about what you want to talk about, and then we'll, wrap it up after that. I reckon.
Yeah.
And he's typing it out.
I think he's trying to spell correctly, so he doesn't look like a fool. Came
Or-
from Joe, who said Depot instead of Depot. Makes me sort of worried.
Yeah, listen,
And I'm
it's been a
illiterate.
long day. It's been a long day.
Nomad has a theory that if you guys remember that Coach Dazer guy, he thinks that might be Teddy rebranded.
I really don't know who the fuck that is. nor do I
Coach
care.
He was
Davis,
some
he was a
guy.
new coach for
Dick, honestly.
Agent, and he was dodgy as fuck, and then he
Yeah.
did something within the community and left. Basically, was the sundown that I've got from it. Of what I
Well,
remember.
cheeky
Top
Jess
three.
Taco
Okay,
just-
Jess, you've got a good point. I guess from I'm gonna want to hear this from NorthX. Give me 3. Tony, I want you to give me 3. Bumper, I want you to give me 3 because you guys.
All right.
I talk a lot of shit regarding this because I love helping people out, but again, I'm a bit of a prick when it comes to this type of stuff. So
Same as
Okay.
I
me.
guess NorthX,
Alright.
if you, we'll ask
Um,
this, then we'll go to Obea's question after this.
So, from a manager's point of view, if a client's approached me and said this orgs came to me, bloody da da, the things I look for are number one, the contract. Never ever sign a contract without reading it and getting it proof checked by someone who actually knows about contract, because what you think might be fine could, bite you in the ass down the track. Another thing when it comes to money, always ask for X amount up front, because that way you're getting some sort of income. So if they turn around and scam you, you've still got some sort of payment. Whereas in this situation, half the players got literally nothing. And third tips, probably don't chase money. Go for a team that can benefit you outside of money. That'll actually work with you, make you grow, and that sort of stuff. Not a team who's just going to give you money and let you do your own thing. Like, I don't know. Personally, that's money comes second to me when I'm finding an org for my client. Like, I don't want them to join a team that's just going to feed them money but benefit them in no other way.
I don't know if any of you know this, but like around a few months ago, I used to own a team. It had like 1,000 followers. It was Venture. If any of you heard of it, it was like a small Fortnite team
The
with
rip-off
followers.
venture.
The boat.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Listen, I used to own the original one, by the way, 2 years
Yeah.
ago. So
it was I was handed it by Jet, and then I took over.
Okay.
I put everyone on like money contracts and all that. I didn't have like an official ABN because I wasn't of age, but I would always pay whenever I signed a player. They were paid up front. They had a decent contract that was written out by a decent manager that I looked over, had other people looked over. So everything was running fine with that. And I reckon, like what the other guy said, make sure you have someone look over it, make sure everything looks legit. Try and get paid up front if that's possible, and don't just look for money because it's not all about money. You try and build your branding up. That way you can earn more money in the long run.
Yeah. So don't chase the bag pretty well. Is
Yeah.
what we're
Yeah.
getting at.
Yeah.
Tony, obviously being, I guess, one of the more experienced creators, you've signed,
In aspects.
a few contracts in the past,
Hey.
with us, and obviously you've also signed deals with tournament organizers as a caster as well.
Yep.
Do you have any specific advice, I guess, for the younger individuals who are tuning into the stream, or anyone who's, I guess, watching this after it's released next Friday?
Obviously, yeah, as NorthX said, look at the contract, read it over. If you're not quite sure about the phrasing, don't be afraid to reach out to someone that might understand contracts a little bit more, because obviously there's a lot of tricky wording in some of those contracts and stuff like that. Maybe look for an ABN as well on the contract, because I'm pretty sure most contracts would include an ABN. Yeah, wording, ABN. And yeah, as NorthX said as well, don't chase the bag. The bag isn't worth it. It's more about growing yourself as like, a creator or a player more than just like getting money in your pocket at the end of the day. Because money's temporary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess Bumper as well, since you're someone.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did you just want to? We'll just quickly touch on this. So I guess you're somebody who's caught up in this situation. Any advice to, I guess, anybody who likes to sign to random fucking pop-up brands in Fortnite and get scammed?
I mean,
It's that 17 souls one.
It's been covered pretty well by the rest of the guys. But one thing I have to add is something I learned through this is if the offer looks too good to be true, it most likely is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
No,
obviously everyone knows their own worth, and if the offer is definitely too good to be true, it is.
Some more advice for you,
Yeah.
Bumper. Maybe don't share your a bunch of your public information in Twitter DMs of all places.
No, Teddy was fucking telling me the email wasn't working, and I had to send it through Twitter.
Yeah,
Sent,
don't know about that one.
That's kind of
We'll
fishy.
listen. We'll leave it at that. All
Kinda
right. So
fishy.
Ibeo,
He said it was
go to the
working for
chat.
everyone else, but not for me.
We'll go to the
Apparently.
chat questions, boys, because we have got a couple. Ibeo basically started with what was Teddy's initial proposition to the players and staff, saying he'd be trustworthy. The context makes it seem like he was always shady. I'll get one of you to answer it. I guess I reckon we'll get Bumper too, just because he was one of the creators that originally got signed. I guess you were one of the first people I think that got signed to FE,
yeah.
I think.
Like the proposition that made me trust him was he never really proposed anything to me. I'd talked to him in the past, you know. He never seemed sketchy. He was always like a really nice guy. He had given some pretty big money to some streamers in the community before without any context.
I just want to know how
So-
that money was gotten, to be honest.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
listen,
know how
considering the
the money
man's-
was obtained by Teddy, but that's what
Man's
made
probably
me
running
trust
a
him in the
drug
first place.
cartel in NZ or some shit at this point. Let's be real. But,
Coming from the
Yeah, go
Italian,
on,
he's like,
Bumper.
hey, the fucking mafia, hey.
yeah, hey.
Yeah, that's what made me trust him in the first place, is because like I had somewhat of a history with him. I talked to him multiple times through like a friend's Discord. We were mutuals. But yeah,
Yeah.
One of the reasons I didn't like him from the very start was on Twitter he was constantly
Yeah.
beefing with
his
younger kids.
his Twitter representability was terrible.
I think the thing that made me
Oh.
start going against him was when he started bullying MeSport in publicly
I-
bullying MeSport, a 13-year-old kid that does suffer with like mental health, like not mental health, like disabilities, mental disabilities, and he was bullying MeSport about it on the timeline when he's at like a 30-year-old man. MeSport's 13, 14. It was just like, what the fuck, bro?
I think in my position as well, because Teddy technically wasn't a same role as I am with Fury, and I'm just saying this now to anybody who's like in one of these Fortnite orgs who's just in Fortnite. I've said this before. You guys need to expand out of Fortnite to be an org. You're a clan. And on the other side of things as well, if you're having the word founder or CEO in your bio, and you're not representing yourself as a founder or a CEO, I have every right to call you out on your shit, and I have every right to say that you're a horrible title, because that doesn't only affect your brand representation, it affects that position as well for everyone else. So I think that's just ridiculous. But
Cole is in the chat right now. Cole, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he was signed to Frag, or if he was offered, but he was being offered 500 a month as like
Was-
VFX.
500 a month was base rate for every member.
Yeah,
That's what
that-
Teddy told
yeah,
us.
okay.
Yeah, players, editors, you name it. It was base rate.
Holy
Jesus.
shit.
So I guess
He,
on the other side of
he
things,
made it. You go.
touch on it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
He made it clear that if you're getting paid under $500, you're a slave. So he
What
kind of
the-
shot the shot high, and just he said it multiple times. If you're getting paid, even Bumper, were you in that? I don't think Bumper was in the call when he said told everyone that it was ending, but he said it 10 times or something. That if you're getting paid under $500, you're just slaving and don't take it. So I think that was a bad
So-
thing to say, because a lot of players will probably take that and use it against other orgs in the futures, which hopefully they don't. But
That's the one. That's inflation. That's
Yeah.
fucking what everyone touches on. It's in every scene
So-
as well.
Slaving for being able to sit
Yeah.
at your computer and make money for free. Okay.
yeah,
Listen,
I don't
any
know.
money you can
Yeah.
make out of esports is good, because
Yeah.
shit. Like if you're an owner, you don't make profit. Like I'm gonna say this publicly. Like I work for free. Tom, do you work for free?
I said I want a Zinger box a month, and I don't get shit.
Next time we go out for the beers, I'll buy you a beer. Right? It's on Steam as
Fucking
well, so
better.
fucking catch that.
What Breeze
Tony,
just
do you
said-
get paid? Do you get paid?
Wait, for Fury or
Yeah, from
Yeah,
Fury.
do
No.
you get paid?
no? No.
No.
Oh, sometimes. It's
I,
it
like
depends.
if I like we do it for the fucking love of esports at this point.
Yeah.
Like Tony
Yeah,
does like
100%.
community casts and shit, because that's just how it is. But
Big ups.
there's shitloads of questions we got to get through, boys. All right. So
Yeah.
With,
I mean,
what
well,
Breeze
just scrolling up
I-
JSH.
What Breeze has said,
was
a
that?
player who has
Pardon?
total
Sorry?
earnings of 400. Breeze was talking about how Infusion, how he had 400 earnings, was on 750 a month. I kind of blame that on Infusion, to be honest, because when I owned Venture, I had Infusion on a contract of like 50 a month, because that's what to be honest, that's what he's worth. He's not that big of a player. He's not well known. 400 earnings. I had him on 50 a month for 3 months or something, and then he goes for a 750 a month contract. And if he doesn't, I don't understand how he doesn't think that's sketch and a scam.
It's because the rest of us trusted Teddy at the same time. We all
Yeah.
trusted him,
Yeah, you're all fucked up.
and it just started a
Tom,
complete
settle
domino,
down. Jesus
domino
Christ.
effect. You're not wrong. We did
You're
all fuck
fucked
up.
Like,
We all
it's
fucked up.
simple. I'm not gonna be like literally not gonna be around the bush. Everyone that signed a player contract, content contract, graphics contract with them, and saw the 500 minimum, you're fucked up. You're an idiot.
to be fair to some players, without naming names,
If you're
I
someone
don't
like
know
Reaper
who
to make
manages who,
uh,
but those player managers should have been smart enough to pick up on a scam, and if they did not look at that contract before their players signed, they are ridiculous for calling themselves a manager.
okay, let's be honest though. OC's
okay.
managers are a bunch
Come
of like 13-year-old kids that tried to go pro
Okay.
and comp, failed, and then went to managing because
So
they failed at video editing.
if
still.
we're touching on that specific topic, I'm saying if you've got I fucking hate player managers. I've never dealt with one because I hate them. No
What do you mean
offense
you
to
What are you
anyone who
trying to
has
say to
one.
me?
Or other than SEDS, that's different though. But listen,
I
if
love that.
if your player manager is under the age of 18, I would argue they probably aren't, you know, established, knowledgeable enough to, know shit like that. I'm just saying it now for any players in the chat. If you've got a player manager who is like that, you really got to fucking question yourself, because the amount of 14, 15-year-old player managers and clients and fucking whatnot that people say they've got, like, again, I hate seeing player managers around who are just signing people willy-nilly trying to get them places, because again, they can't, barter with a deal. They can't get people a deal. Like, at least with getting SEDS specifically, when I was talking to him, like, he's done well. Like, he gets players into teams and he knows what he's looking for, because again, originally he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, but he asked questions, which is the main thing, right? Because you're not going to learn without asking questions to people who actually are the people doing the signing process, which makes sense,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not calling out anyone specifically. Obviously, I know the chat's going a bit ham here at the moment, but anyone who's probably under 17, 18 years old who hasn't really had the discussion with people who are actually doing the signing process, go do that. Ask questions. Ask me questions. Ask fucking Bones questions. He signs creators and shit. Like, just fucking ask someone. Like,
I tell people
our
to
DMs
fuck
are
off all the
open.
time.
The Discord's there, the Twitter's there.
Yeah.
Just fucking ask whatever. Tom will probably turn you down. I've got like probably 10 minutes of my time I could spare, but
I don't do
just
any
gotta
time.
fucking
What do
ask
you
questions,
mean?
guys. Just ask questions.
Mm.
Oh, if you ask questions about management, like players or content, like contracts and all that sort of stuff, I will help you. But don't come to me and be like, "Yo," or "Hey, can I join Fury?"
Never hit us with the one word. Just give us a paragraph of some
Yeah.
form. Like,
Give me an
Come with a
I've
come with a
had-
resume.
listen,
Come with like
Northex. I'm using Northex and Magali as an example
yeah,
after FE shit the
yeah,
bed.
yeah. No.
Listen,
No.
you
No,
no.
bitch.
You messaged me. I'm saying this on stream. You have messaged me asking, right? I haven't responded because I haven't had time, but at least you've had the common courtesy to at least ask the question. So I'm giving you credit for that, right? I haven't had a chance to read it. I'll get to it. And even with Magali as well, he sent me a CV to have a read over it before he goes, down the track somewhere else, which again, good thing for him. And again, if you're a creator or a player, get yourself a resume, get yourself a player resume, put your earnings in there, your tournaments, your statistics, get
Analytics.
everything.
Yeah.
That's what we look
give
at.
us your, like, if you're a content creator, give us maybe
Current.
3 to 6 months of analytics. We can see how well we've done it from.
Don't inflate them either.
Don't just state how many followers you have because it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
followers
Yeah,
mean
On a
fucking
side note
nothing.
as well, if you're signing to an org who only tweets out bait shit like who's joining this team today and this and that and this, you can do a lot better, guys. You can do a lot better. That's all I'm saying. You can do a lot better. Get yourself that presence you always want. If you want to be a big boy, you want to, get up there in the scene, fucking find a brand who's not going to be posting consistent bait shit all the time.
Yeah, one thing I want to add, it was in the chat that there are like certificates in management. Yes, there are. There are business management certificates that people can do. I have a diploma in business, a university level degree,
I do as well.
and so does Joe. So you
I
see,
don't.
you see what we've got.
Tony's an arts student, so if
I'm
you
an
wanted to dance
arts
around
major.
or something
If you
like
need
that.
arts advice, anyone that needs acting advice, come to me. I got
Yeah.
you.
So
Listen,
we've done
Tony
our studies.
Tony acted his way into a Fury content role, so
Yeah, well,
Anyway.
he's a creator, so he had to. He had to have some sort of personality. But yeah, that sort of stuff is you can do that through TAFE if you're in Australia. I don't know what it is in New Zealand, mostly like ZAFE, fucking New Zealand educational thing. But yeah, you can do that. Anyone can do it. You can do that from the age of 15 and onwards in Australia.
take up a business course in school, by the
Yeah.
way. That's
There-
not like if you're in year, I think it starts at year 9, take a business course. I did
Nah,
business until
that's a finance one.
Yeah,
you know,
there's some different ones. I know
Year
when I
10 is
studied, I had to
business studies.
study. Yeah,
it's yeah.
just do a business course. It doesn't fucking matter what you do. Honestly, like I did it up until I graduated, and after that, I got a certificate in management services, even through my old job. And I used to work at McDonald's previously. Like they gave me a certificate for it. So, you know, if you work in a spot like that, try to squeeze your way through into that role, and you get yourself a certificate. Like
And
even
can we
that
tell
helps.
Person to shut up in the chat?
I don't need Person to shut up. He
I
tweets
did.
about Smash 3 times a week, and his CS:GO wins. You know, is alright.
Yeah. All right. Shut up, Person.
So it's all good. But you know, we have been rambling for a bit, obviously, boys, and again, we do appreciate you three coming in here and having a chat, because I think it's a positive thing you guys have come through to actually have discussion about this as well, just to, I guess,
Yeah.
provide a little bit more insight. I guess on a final note before we, I guess, head off, and obviously this is going to be up next Friday, I guess, between the three of you, any specific plugs, shout outs, anything like that? I guess, Joby, if you want to go first, just put something there.
Like shouting people out.
Shout out, I guess,
Shout out your
whoever,
Twitter.
honestly, in this
and
scenario.
stuff.
Shout out your Twitter. Just fucking do the
My
generic
Twitter
shit.
is at OROV, OROV, and then shout out to the 911 Discord, discord.gg/9LL. If you wanna join that up. That's about it.
I think
Okay, it's
September
not
as
what we
well.
think it is. It's all right. It's all right.
In
It's all good. It's all
September as
good.
well,
It's all good.
man.
Northex.
No, it's
Yeah.
911
Northex,
as in
go
like
for
the
it.
police. 911 as in the
Ah,
police.
okay.
Not
Okay,
the not
yeah, okay,
not the
that
other
makes-
one.
Okay,
Listen,
jeez.
that's all right. It's all good. Northex, go for gold.
Probably on top of the management stuff. If you ever need a contract, read over or whatnot, to just hit me up on Twitter. I'm always free. I'm always open to help anyone. So my Twitter is just NorthXOCE. I might not have a diploma in management or whatever, but I've done hours and hours of studying and that sort of stuff. And so I do have a great knowledge on all this sort of stuff. I've friends and family that are lawyers that I always talk to. So I'm always open to help any players or whatever they need. So that's all I've got to say.
Cool. Bumper, what are you feeling?
Yeah. I'm like, my socials are Bumper FPS on all platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch. That's about it.
Cool. There you
Fun.
go. And again, for us, I guess for the other guys who are here, follow our socials. 2Tap Tony, just
Yep.
literally at 2Tap Tony. You've got
Cool.
old mate over there, Bones.
Old
who's
mate,
just,
fuck
flinging
off.
his arms around. Bones only.
Bones
Bones
only.
only on Twitter. And you've got
Zero.
me as well. I know
Quick
you
draw
can't
with a
see
one
my ugly mug on the
and
screen.
an
It's quick draw
underscore.
with a 1 and an underscore at the end because I'm a degenerate. And if anyone wants to ask any questions, bring the heat. Podcast BDH on Twitter. The Discord's in our bio as well. Episodes are up every Friday night. This is episode 8 of 10. So if anyone hasn't seen the previous EPs, go back and see how that's going. But we've had a good time, boys. Appreciate you guys coming out. Everyone in the chat again. Really appreciate you guys tuning into this. We're going to close things off here. Tom, if you would like to do the honors, I reckon we host Insight because it's the Fury channel.
Oh,
Right,
wait,
we
what are we
gotta-
doing? Wait, hold up. I'm having a drink.
Bring the heat, episode number 8. Of course, you can check it out, as Joe said it on the socials. Until next time, we will talk more esports and more shit later.